Hey guys, welcome back to Bible Armory. And we have another topic. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, it was going to be relatable, of course,
Mhm.
but you want to hit them the topic or you want me hit them the topic?
I give back my job.
Yeah, you get back to the.
All right. So the topic today is it a sin to be angry?
Yeah.
Is it a sin to be angry? Now you guys can tell us what are your thoughts on it?
hmm I mean, we jumping in? Are we jumping in?
Yeah, one
Yeah,
time.
let me jump in. Let me jump in. Let me jump in. Start swimming. All right. I think in this time, we have a lot of people that when they look at Christians, they expect them to look and behave a certain way, right? And one of the things is when a Christian get angry, I think one of the things that they would say is, and she's supposed to be a Christian, he's supposed to be a Christian, right? So in a situation like that, are you supposed to be angry?
I think the
Can
key
you be angry and be a Christian?
now before we go into the word, before we
Mm-hmm.
find King James, I think just as you said, is that person supposed to be getting on like that or angry?
Mm-hmm.
Really, it is when you are angry, what you do
Yeah,
when you are angry, your behavior when you are angry,
yeah. and
because
that's and that makes the difference.
that makes a difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can be angry. It's just that how you behave, what you say, what you do when you are angry.
So let me ask Jesus, he was on the earth like us, which means he would have experienced all emotions just like we have.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bible said that he's moved by our compassions and,
hmm
all of these emotions he would have experienced just like us.
Yeah.
And was anger one?
Anger
Yes,
was definitely one.
anger was one.
Dealing with, I can imagine dealing with all them people and and they ain't getting it. You hear any word
What?
and you ain't getting it. Obviously, if you are human, you will be upset about that.
But where it talk about him being angry would have been when he flipped the table.
hmm
What they were doing in the temple. They were gambling in the temple.
Yeah.
And so he was
Well,
angry.
that is the 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 point that we're going to come across and show that this is how you can be angry. That is the example.
hmm And I mean, I think they get the answer just by us saying that Jesus was angry.
Yeah,
Um, he was a perfect person
yeah.
and he did no sin.
So if he was perfect and he get angry, so that means you can be angry.
Right. And how are we supposed to be when we are angry?
hmm
Or if anger hits us.
hmm
Yeah. So I could go straight into the word
Go
now.
ahead. Welcome back, King James.
All right. So the word we're reading from is Ephesians 4.
Yeah.
And I'll read 26 for now. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
hmm I find that is like two different things,
How
two
so?
different points
Mhm,
there, right? Because it shows that you could be angry and sin not. So
mhm,
whatever you're doing, if you are upset about the situation, you can express your emotion. You can be angry, right? Now, you have to be very careful not to sin in that because when you're angry, you tend to see some things that you're not supposed to see, you shouldn't see or you shouldn't do when you are angry. So the idea is how to control your emotions in that anger,
mhm.
right?
Because the word it's telling you right here that you are allowed to be angry.
Yeah.
It's just that don't sin when you are in your anger.
hmm
Okay, us as human beings, emotions, anger, happiness, being afraid, being surprised, all of those at a point in time, they basically are a temporary emotion.
Yeah.
Now, if it is we act out in a sinful manner when we are angry, it means that this emotion
Yeah.
can cause us to sin.
Yeah.
And as a Christian, yes, we are allowed to be angry because we are
But
humans.
you
It's
shouldn't
just
sin.
don't
Yeah. You
sin.
shouldn't sin. Yeah. And I think it's because knowing that your tongue have a lot of power, and we talk about this, how your tongue is the the weapon of mass destruction,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's very easy in order to say something that you cannot take back,
Right.
right?
Let's take it up a notch as well. You can't be angry. You may not say nothing out loud,
Mhm.
but in
But you
here,
think it, yeah. And if you think it, it's like if you say it,
it's like you
or if you
committed.
do it,
It's like you committed.
yeah,
I mean, but your mind is a place where you have to sift. You know, you have to sift. I'm not supposed to behave this way. I'm not supposed to say this. I'm not supposed to get like this. I am a Christian. Yes, I am angry. But how am I supposed to behave?
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, remember I said there were two parts to that, right? So you said, be angry and sin not.
Mm-hmm.
So that first part is how you could be angry,
Mm-hmm.
right? The second part is when you are angry, right? Don't let the sun go down on your wrath.
Yeah. So 24 hours and you're angry.
So a week,
48.
you're vexed with your friend, you're vexed with your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
you're vexed with anybody, your
Now, I think
co-worker,
how you
and
said
it's
spouse.
1 week, 2 days, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, and you're still angry?
Yeah.
Come on.
And how you said spouse, that is so relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Because in relationships, of course, your spouse might piss you off.
Yeah,
You know?
it is expected that something like that will happen.
Right. In relationships,
Mm-hmm.
that
You
is
have
what it's
ups and
about.
downs,
Right.
yeah.
So your spouse get you angry. And you go on to bed angry and go to sleep. Now, me personally, I tell myself I cannot go to bed if there is something that you need to talk about.
Yeah.
And the other part to that is I just feel like I can't read my Bible if it is, there's something that we need to discuss.
Yeah, there's
Come
something
to a
that
mutual understanding and agreement about.
Mhm.
Now, can we really go to God and read our word when
you have
when
an oath
I
against your
ain't-
brother or your spouse, your husband, your
Yeah,
wife.
when I ain't settled that little disagreement?
yeah, yeah.
You know, to me, I think that needs to be fixed before you could continue
Yeah, I
or
agree.
before you should go to bed.
I agree. And they have too many times where you will see couples or husband and wife, they will be angry with each other and they will go to sleep. They will let it settle. It's not that they would settle the situation, They let it brew in.
Mm-hmm.
Let me use that term. They keep it brewing. So you're going down to bed, you're sleeping with this thing. The first thing in the morning, you're getting up with the thing in your mind.
You're waking up
right?
with that while you're having your coffee.
Yeah, that is so toxic for you and it is so harmful for you, right? You're not supposed to let that go with you. If you're angry, deal with the situation.
I am laughing because I want to say this.
Mhm. Go ahead.
Donovan, don't allow me to be angry. And that is so,
Lev-
that makes me angry.
All right. Let me explain why, right? Because in my nature, I cannot be angry with somebody for long.
I don't want, my intention is not to be angry for long.
Yeah.
But you're not allowing me to be angry for short.
No, the reason why, here why? Because as soon as it no happen, I'm angry with you. As soon as I done say my statement, I'm not angry with you. That's how quick that will happen with my wife.
Now, we've been married for a good few years. So I know how I think I know a little bit as to how the men brain works.
Yeah.
They being more logical, we being more emotional. And so when I still, we literally just had a discussion.
Yeah.
And I wanna wash wares by myself. I don't want you to come and kiss me on my cheek, you know?
Yeah. But that's how I see it, how
No.
it's supposed to be. You don't let that brew.
No, let me just say that is good.
Yeah.
That is good. So that is making sure that the sun don't go down
Don't go down
on
the
your
rat.
So there's the other part, which is verse 27. There's anything else you wanted to say about that?
No, go ahead.
Neither give place to the devil. So it's actually in continuation to verse 26,
Mhm.
right? So be angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. And 27, neither give place to the devil,
All
which
right.
means it's exactly what we were just
So
saying.
so if it is that exactly what I was saying, if it is that you leave this thing brewing, you give the devil a chance and he would see that opening and say, there's a division between you two. I'm gonna wedge something in it
Yeah, and I'm
to
going to
make
work
it
on that.
to make it wider. So just like there's the saying, the chain is only as strong as the weakest link.
Mhm.
So if there is a weak link in the chain, how much weight that weak link is able to hold, that's how much the
So,
whole chain is able
so anger,
to take.
you're likening anger to that.
Yeah.
So anger being a weak link could cause it to break.
No, I'm saying the division. If I'm keeping the anger and I'm going to sleep with this anger,
That's what I mean. It can cause
right?
division. It can cause
It
it to
can
break.
yes,
Yeah.
because that is the weak link.
Yeah.
That is the space. That is the gap.
Mhm.
And all the devil have to use is gets something to chuck in that gap
Mhm.
and then wedge it. And all I'm doing is just hitting that spot over and over again to make that wedge even wider.
Yeah. And as you're saying, hitting, the spot to make that anger
Mhm.
or that, weak link even weaker. I'm just thinking about time.
Mhm.
Sometimes somebody mash your corn in
Mhm.
church and work. Anyway, relationships, we talk about that.
Yeah.
So somebody mash your corn and you waiting and days passing, weeks passing, and you haven't dealt with it. So time is allowing that anger to fester.
Yeah.
Deal with it one time. I am a person like that.
Yeah.
If something is happening, if you have a friendship and there's something going on, I rather deal with it. I'm straightforward like that.
Yeah.
I rather let you know, hey, I find so by so is the case. What's up? What's going on? Relationship, of course.
Yeah.
You have to make amends on those things. On work, what about on work? A lot of times those things happen and we leave it just like that.
Mhm.
Before you know it, you're not talking to
Now-
people in your workplace.
Now, we have to be very careful about how it is that we deal with this thing because remember, a lot of people on the outside, they will be looking at you and saying that you are supposed to representing Christ.
Mhm.
And if it is that you are not dealing with your anger correctly, that means you are missing out on a chance in order to witness to that person.
Mhm.
So the way how we deal with anger in public spaces will demonstrate how it is that we will be like Christ
Yeah.
and how we can witness to somebody. So if somebody is going through something, they can now come to you and say, you know what? I see you went through something similar like this. How you didn't
How you
get
dealt
angry?
with
How
it.
you dealt with this?
Yeah.
And in that space, you can share the gospel.
Mhm.
So you see how important on how we need to deal with anger,
Mhm.
how you can use it for ministry, how you can use this anger and not sin.
Yeah. I always have a little story.
Yeah, go ahead.
At one of my workplaces, there was this guy
Mhm.
who worked in a different department, and he was known to be a Christian.
Yeah.
He talking about church and stuff like that. So he gave the impression, okay, he's a Christian, right? There was a day he got upset with one of his supervisors.
Yeah.
And he got angry, of course. And he fed the anger. That's how I am putting it. He fed the anger. And then I know that people would have been judging him based on that.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I am like, okay, it's okay to be angry, but it's how he dealt with the situation.
Mhm.
And then, especially being a Christian, people have their eyes on you and they are watching to see how you are dealing with this.
Yeah.
And he got upset and he gave into flesh. He gave into the emotion.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't judge him based on that because you fall short. You
Yeah.
fall short. The
we
important
are
thing is
all
getting
human.
back up. The important
Exactly.
thing is getting back up.
Exactly.
But there are people who just watch the fall short. They ain't watching that they get back up. They're just watching the shortcoming.
Yeah.
But it happens. So it's just for us to be mindful when we are angry.
Yeah.
To not give way to the devil, as the verse actually said.
So-
Neither give place to the
Well,
devil.
let me ask you a question. In a case like that, when you do fall short and you sin, what do you need to do afterwards?
Repentance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Mhm.
If we fall short, all you need to do is ask God to forgiveness, ask God for forgiveness, and just get up and try to do better at this thing.
Yes, as you say that, let me just interject this. This is why it is important to not judge
Yeah.
no one. Because this person had a shortcoming. It was a public shortcoming, which means everybody see that person's shortcoming.
Yeah.
Me judging now, all I am seeing is that that person fell short.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that that person repented and made a turnaround from that shortcoming.
Yeah.
But all I am seeing when I see that person is that person did this, that person. You are not seeing the fact that that person repented and moved
And move
forward.
on. Yeah. And that's where, just like you say, we're not supposed to judge, right? And if you see somebody fall short, all you have to do is just continue just watching, pray for that person, continue watching and see what is the outcome after.
And you
this.
can talk to the person. As a Christian, you can approach the person in a nice way. If you are friends with the person, or maybe not,
Exactly,
you
yeah.
can approach the person to say, hey, what's up? How can I help you in this area?
Mhm.
Or maybe the person might open up and talk to you about the situation.
Yeah.
You know?
But coming back to the anger, that when it is that we get angry and we need to show our I guess what we have to do is try to keep the emotions in check, right? Don't allow your emotions in order to sway you left, right, and center. You need to guide it.
Mm-hmm. We are the ones in charge of our emotions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? And we have to control how we see things
Mm-hmm.
because it's very easy in order to end up in a sticky situation because I didn't allow myself to control. In Proverbs, the whole book of Proverbs talks about wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
A wise man, he would speak less
Mm-hmm.
and listen more, right? He will use his tongue in order to give blessing and not curse. He will be able to attach himself to wise counsel. So all these things, you can be wise, you can be angry, use your emotions and use your mind and get what you need to see out of it, and not allow for the whole situation to escalate
Or be blown out of proportion.
out of proportion. Yeah.
As I always tell Dante and Daniel, you have two big ears to listen twice as much as you speak. I'm saying it like that because they might understand it in that way. All right, we're moving on to verse 29.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. So the first part, let no corrupt communication proceed out of you.
Yeah. So you shouldn't be saying anything negative. If I'm angry, nothing negative should be coming out of my mouth. Everything should be constructed and to the point what I need to get across. I shouldn't be sinning because I just want to hurt somebody. I want to just belittle somebody. No, that is not the intent. If your intent is that, then you start off bad.
And I look at corrupt communication as negative communication on the
Yes.
whole.
Yeah.
On the whole, which is like gossiping as well.
Yeah.
That is corrupt communication.
It's not edifying.
Yeah.
So if you're angry with somebody, you would go to somebody and gossip. Would you want to go to somebody and gossip?
Well, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to do that.
Well, that's talking about that. That
Yeah.
verse is talking about that.
So the verse is telling us, not we saying this, but the word is telling us, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth. Right? Moving on. Let all bitterness, this is 31, and wrath, and anger, and clamor, and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. So in addition to 29, come down, it's telling you, put it away.
Yeah, it don't belong to it. It shouldn't belong to you. You need to put that aside.
Put it away.
Go, say all the thing. Malice, what?
Bitterness,
Bitterness,
wrath, anger, clamor,
hey,
and evil speaking.
evil speaking too. So because I'm jealous here, I'm thinking about this, I don't like here, I would speak evil.
You start off bad. Why are you jealous?
Yeah, well, this is what I said.
So don't jealous.
Yeah. So one thing that all these things not supposed to be a part of
No,
your
no,
mouth,
no.
a part of you, if it is that you calling yourself a Christian.
Mhm. Correct. And the last verse, let's just jump straight into it.
Yeah, go ahead.
And be kind one to another, tender hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, had forgiven you. And there's another part in the Bible that says, if you don't forgive, God not going to forgive you.
Yeah. Yeah. What I am seeing in this passage, they just call out all the things that you're not supposed to do and call out all the things that you should be a part of.
Well, not all, but it highlighted
Yeah,
some.
some, right? So when somebody look at you, even when you're angry, they should be seeing kindness.
So this is it. And I'm now looking at it. And be kind one to another. They didn't give conditions as to when to
Yeah,
be kind.
yeah.
It didn't say be kind to those who are kind to you.
No, it's that goes across the board.
What will it really profit you if you are only kind to somebody who is kind to you?
Yeah.
It's imagine how much more if you are kind to someone who is not kind to you.
Yeah.
That is more
It
rewarding.
is conditional. You are doing it conditionally.
So you don't like me? I'd love you for spite.
Mm-hmm. If I don't scratch your back, you ain't scratching mine. Does that sound like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth?
Yeah, and that's not how we live.
And we shouldn't be living like that. Right? So what I get from this is that even when you're angry, you need to be showing kindness. Even I'm angry and I'm seeing what I need to see. They should be looking at this, hearing this, and saying, "Now, this person, he's showing kindness in this. He's giving information to help me." Right? They should be seeing what else? Say it. Come on.
Tender-hearted.
Tender-hearted. Right? I'm in my nature is soft. I'm not just brackish and I want to cut you off and keep you on your own. No. You should be seeing love from emitting from me, even in my anger state.
And regardless of how you are to the person,
Exactly.
you still have to be tender-hearted to them.
Exactly. Are we really
no respect of person in regards to that?
No, it makes you wonder. Are we really emitting that type of emotional state when we are angry? Can somebody look at us and say, "Nah, this person, you showing that love, again, kindness from them"?
Let me give this short story quick. Our workplace again. This girl, I used to say that she's buff proof.
Yeah.
Right? You can buff her. Supervisors could buff her. Those in authority could buff her. She used to just be kind and she used to give love regardless. I used to call her buff proof. Literally.
No, it makes you wonder. If it is that person had a nothing box, it's like, okay, yeah, well, you say they was kind even in the buff?
Yeah, now that person would have been a Christian.
All right.
And I used to look, to be quite honest, I used to admire that.
Yeah.
So you could say what you want, maybe receive discipline. She would receive the discipline,
Yeah.
But she is not treating you ill after. She's not treating you bad after. I receive it. Maybe she would have made her change. I'm not watching to see if she's going to make her change, Maybe she would have made a change and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But she was not giving anger. She wasn't giving hate. She was still kind and loving and completely normal toward the people.
Well, if she is a Christian, she's doing a very good job.
Yeah. At least in that area, that was really applaudable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would have noticed it and it stood out for me.
Yeah.
And that's just to show that people would be looking at us as Christians to see what we are giving off.
And that's where we need to understand and develop ourselves. So when we do get angry, we do not sin.
And understand that we are representing Christ.
We are more. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Throughout everything, how we represent, they are looking at us and see. They should be seeing Christ.
Yeah.
We are just a reflection of what is inside of us, which is Jesus Christ.
And it's a matter of not allowing our emotions to make us do silly things,
Yeah.
to make us do sinful things.
Mm-hmm.
Continue representing Christ even in anger. Even
Even
when
in
you are
anger.
angry, make sure you don't sin not and don't let a sunset go down while you're
On
angry.
your
Especially for married people or for friends or whoever. Fix it.
I think
Fix, mend it.
we should try let people do an exercise. If you are married and stuff, right? Or you have a relationship, try that. If you are angry with somebody, make it a rule that before the sun set or before I go to sleep, that issue have to be solved.
So what if an argument happen after the sunset?
Before you go to sleep, make it a rule. I am not going to sleep with this on my heart.
I think what it really mean as well, literal sunset, not literal sunset, it really means don't prolong your anger.
Yeah.
Fix it quickly.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
You don't want to prolong your anger.
Yeah.
You don't want the issue to be lingering.
Yeah.
Right?
You want to deal with it.
No, in a situation, let's be real. They would have some situation that it is so complex to deal with. At that point, I think it's more of understanding each other and understanding, okay, sometimes you need to humble yourself, and say, if you are wrong about it, just admit that you're wrong. You made a mistake and just work your way forward from it. Now, that kind of wrap up with a sense of pride with anger.
Yeah, so you don't want to be,
You don't want to
you're
be
unapologetic.
unapologetic. And you are going through this issue and you don't want to recognize that I was the wrong one.
But even the word tells you.
Or I may have been wrong.
No, the word even tell you, if somebody have an oath against you, you don't have an oath against someone, but someone have an oath against you. They wronging you.
Yeah.
Leave your gift and go mend it.
Yep.
You understand? So even if you are right, even if you are wrong, it's just communication, Communication. Asking for forgiveness, saying that, hey, I didn't mean it. This was not my intention. Was not to hurt you. And even if you are wrong and I did hurt you, I am sorry.
Yeah.
I am sorry. What? What are you?
No, I just thought about because I was just thinking about something about a relationship. I think a meme or a video I saw. They say, okay, son was asking the father, how do I know when you're ready to get married? Right? And the father carry him in a place and he say, okay, well, he showed him that you did something wrong. And he don't understand. It didn't make sense. He was in the right, the boy was in the right, and yet he say, no, you're still supposed to say sorry. So I just said, so yeah, the reason why I thought about that and I was laughing about that is because sometimes you have to understand that in a sense, if you are in a situation, sometimes you just might have to say, okay, I understand that there may be a chance that I was wrong. You don't know exactly what the other person is thinking, what is their mental state, but you have to understand, if I really love that brother or sister, I might just take you wrong in order to show, hey, I love this person.
Because peace is important.
Peace. Yeah, my relationship with you is more important than the issue.
Yeah.
I know something was wrong. I know probably I was in the right, but what would you do? Would you want to continue have this relationship lingering, that issue lingering? No.
Yeah. True. All right. So that's about it. Is there anything else that we should add?
Guys, don't let your anger cause you to sin.
Yeah.
Don't let it linger.
Don't let it be a place for the devil to step in and take control.
And every time somebody is looking at you, they should be seeing love, kindness, kind-hearted, gentle-hearted, tender-hearted, right? So even through everything, even in my anger state, let them see love.
Yeah. So we hope that this little discussion helps someone.
Yeah.
helps
It
a relationship, a friendship, a marriage.
it
Just help a
definitely
person.
it definitely helped us because again, like we say, I don't let anger linger long.
No, no. Like, what is anger?
Yeah.
Like, what is anger? But I mean, every couple have their own way of doing things. It's just a matter of not letting anger linger
Yeah.
because it could cause a wedge, it could cause division.
Yeah.
And that's something we don't want amongst brethren or amongst relationships or couples or anything like that. We hope that you guys enjoyed this discussion. Join us again next week for another podcast. Bye.
Later, guys.